Look, we all have someone in our lives who just doesn't know when to shut the hell up. Like you're standing around grandma's deathbed, and this is the guy who says, "Where the fuck is lunch?" Or you go to a kindergarten graduation ceremony, and when your kid gets his little diploma, this guy stands up and yells, "Fuck yeah." Or he's on a job interview and he asks the woman interviewing him if she's wearing a bra. We all know this person, and some of us are related to the bastard. So now you're wondering, where the doggone heck are you going with this, Russ? And as if the answer couldn't be more obvious, I'm talking about Andrew Jackson's funeral. It's Russ Woody again, whether you like it or not, with another vital historical fact. Andrew Jackson was the 7th President of the United States, serving from 1829 until 1837. And by some accounts, he was a man of the people, known as Old Hickory. By other accounts, especially if you care about Native or African Americans, he was a giant dickwad. And why he's on the $20 bill, I got no idea. Before he became president, he gave his wife Rachel a pet parrot, an African gray parrot named Paul. Not Paul like Paul McCartney, but Paul like Polly Want a Cracker, that type. However, Rachel Jackson died of a heart attack not long after Jackson was elected president in 1828. Thus, Paul became Jackson's bird, and it's fair to say that Paul was exposed to a great many of the president's forms of expressing himself. Unfortunately, when Jackson died in June 1845, Paul attended the funeral. As people entered the funeral and it began to fill up, Paul got a little excited and started screaming expletives, insults, and filthy limericks. For a time, people tried to ignore him, but that was kind of difficult to do, and he was finally escorted out of the funeral. Tragically, there are no direct quotes from Paul, which pains me to tell you, but the Reverend William Norment wrote that the presidential parrot, quote, let loose perfect gusts of cuss words. People were horrified and awed at the bird's lack of reverence. Fucking bird. Nobody knows exactly what became of Paul after Jackson's funeral, though I'm sure it crossed some people's minds to invite him to the gathering afterward, where he might make an excellent addition to the charcuterie board. So if you're unfortunate enough to have someone in your life like Paul, or my cousin Carl, just know it could be worse. And if you figure out what that is, let me know.